Hey everyone, hope you're having an amazing day. It's Code Karen. Welcome to r/Entitled Parents, where we have one incredible story. If you're new to this channel, a sub would be great. Let's jump to the story. Our story is, Entitled Mother calls the police on me for stealing her daughter, who is my girlfriend and an adult. This happened about 5 years ago. My fiance and I have been together 7 years this month. We're hoping to get married this year, but might postpone due to the circumstances. We were reminiscing some old stories yesterday when this one came up, and she suggested I share it. She was my girlfriend at the time, and at the time, I was fully aware that her mom was a few fries short of a Happy Meal, but this was the pinnacle of her behavior. If you guys enjoy this story, I actually have a few more I shall share if you like. Sorry for the length, but I hope you guys enjoy it. FYI, there is a happy ending. Cast: EM, entitled Mom, my future mother-in-law. Girlfriend, Ellie. PO, police officer. OP, obviously me. Ellie and I were living together at the time. She just stayed over from time to time when she could. I took her home after she had been staying with me a couple days and was heading to work. But shortly after, just before getting to work, I get a phone call from her, and I can tell she is in tears. Apparently, when she got inside, Entitled Mother immediately blew up on her about being gone for so long, even though it was only 2 days and she told Entitled Mother she was going to be gone and kept in contact with her while she was gone. But Ellie just sort of brushed it off and went to her room. Entitled Mother's house was pretty much your stereotypical crazy cat lady house. House is badly decaying, cats all over the place, going to the bathroom in random places and whatnot. And when Ellie gets to her room, she realizes while she was gone, the cats made a mess all over a pile of her clean clothes. But whatever, Ellie decided to just bag them up and she would wash them next time she came to my place. Her mom didn't have a functioning washer at the time, and apparently that really set Entitled Mother off. Entitled Mother apparently thought Ellie was bagging her clothes because she was planning to go back to my place that night and stay another few days. So she stomped into her room, grabbed the bag, ripped it open, and flung the clothes all over the room along with the cat's mess, while screaming at Ellie that she was not going anywhere. That's when Ellie ran outside and called me. She was so upset and didn't know what to do. Her mom had been doing crazy stuff to Ellie since I'd been with her, but up until now, I just helped her however I could, while not getting involved and not saying a word to her mom. I told her to go ahead and get the things she needs, and I'll take her to my place. She said she would love that. I told my work I was going to be late due to an emergency and turned around to go pick her up. When I pulled back up to the house, Ellie was in the driveway, crying. I went and hugged her, told her it was going to be okay, and that she could stay with me as long as she wanted. So she went back inside to get her things. As I was standing outside waiting, I heard the door open again and went to help Ellie with her things. Uh-oh. It's her mom. Entitled Mom comes stomping out with her hair crazy and frizzled and an old nightgown. She beelines for me and gets right in my face. Entitled Mother, with an extremely thick, high-pitched southern accent. My daughter said I need to come out here and ask what you think of me. I knew that was a blatant lie, as Ellie would never instigate this. You got something to say, huh? You think I'm trash, don't you, huh? That's what you think, isn't it? Again, up until now, I'd completely kept my mouth shut and was trying to maintain that. But this woman was up in my face, freaking out, and was tormenting the woman I loved. So I finally looked at her and broke my silence. Why do you treat her like this? Entitled Mother. What do you mean? That's my daughter, and I worship the ground she walks on. Oh, really? So calling her a bunch of bad names is worship? Yes, I've heard her say these bad words with my own ears. Entitled Mother. I would never say anything like that. Me, getting rather irritated. Nonsense! I've heard you say it. Entitled Mother. Explosion. Get your effing butt off my property. Okay, I almost never find myself in situations like this, so I'm not used to it. I say that because after she said this, I pretty much saw red. I'm not proud of it, but I just started shouting every curse word in the book I could possibly think of at the top of my lungs while she went back in the house. But thankfully, that only lasted a few seconds and I immediately calmed down. So finally, Ellie comes back out with her stuff, we put it in the car, and I assume it's over. But Ellie turns to me and says, "I'm sorry, but we can't leave yet." "Why not?" Ellie, "Mom called the cops." I sorta had a feeling that would happen. No big deal. So we just sat and waited for the cops to arrive. After about 10 minutes or so, a cop car pulls up. Right when he does, Entitled Mother comes out of the house. And oh my gosh, yes, she was doing exactly what you think. She instantly puts on the fragile, brittle old lady act. Hunched over, walking slowly, the whole gig. And of course, when police officer asks her what happened, she has to pitch her entire medical chart to the guy. Ellie will tell you this woman has been terminally ill for 12 years. LOL. So when she finally gets done trying to milk this poor guy for sympathy, she tells her version of what happened. Entitled Mother, "Sir, he came onto my property and verbally attacked me. He's awful to me, sir, and I've never even done anything to him. He's turned my daughter against me, and he's trying to convince her to leave." At first, he seemed somewhat sympathetic to her, until he turns to Ellie. Police officer, "Ma'am, is this your boyfriend?" Ellie, "Yes, sir." Police officer, "Okay, and how old are you?" Ellie, "Sir, I'm 23. This was my favorite part because the officer looked up from his notepad with a look of, "Wait, what?" Obviously, he was thinking Ellie was a minor or something, based off of how Entitled Mother was acting, but quickly realized just what he was dealing with. Eventually, he turns to me. Police officer, "Okay, sir, please give me your version of what happened." I did so. Funny side note, at one point, police officer looks up at me and says, "You look really familiar. Do I know you?" It actually turned out the police officer and I had gone to high school together. Once we recognized each other, we laughed and shook hands, and very briefly this was hilarious, because out of the corner of my eye, I see Entitled Mother has a big scowl on her face as she sees me getting friendly with police officer. But anyway, police officer puts his notepad away and turns to me. Just FYI, he says the following with this heavy tone of, "I know that you're fully aware of this and don't believe you're in the wrong at all, but I have to say this as a formality." Police officer, "Well, she doesn't want you on the property, so be aware that if you come back here, you technically can be charged with trespassing. Do you understand this as I've explained it?" "Absolutely, sir." Entitled Mother, "But sir, I want to press charges." Police officer, "He didn't do anything illegal, ma'am." Entitled Mother, "But he verbally assaulted me." Police officer, "I understand that, and while that was ill-advised," he slightly turns to me and gives me a small gesture with his hand, and I nod in agreement. "It's not something I could arrest him for. He agrees he will not come back on your property without your direct permission." Entitled Mother, "Ugh, okay, fine, whatever. Ellie, come back inside." Ellie, "What? No." Entitled Mother, "You heard the police officer. He is leaving and you're staying here." Police officer, "Whoa, ma'am, I didn't say that at all." Entitled Mother, But, Police officer, "Your daughter is not a child, ma'am. She is a full-grown adult. She has every right to go wherever she wants." Entitled Mother, "I'm her mother. She lives under my roof. I told her she needs to stay here, so she needs to stay." Police officer, "No, ma'am, that's not how it works. If she wants to go stay with her boyfriend, there's absolutely nothing you can do to stop her." Entitled Mother starts the fake crocodile tears and stomps in the house in defeat. Ellie and I thanked the officer, got in the car, and left. We've been living together ever since. Happy ending. Believe it or not, Entitled Mother isn't really much of an entitled mother anymore. Over the years since that day, Entitled Mother has actually decided to make an effort to try and improve herself. I guess she realized that if she didn't make changes, she would lose her relationship with Ellie. So Entitled Mother started taking advantage of her medical coverage and went to see her psychiatrist and got medicine for mental illness she actually had, as opposed to the ones she would make up. Since then, well, she has actually gotten way better. She takes her medicine regularly and has a boyfriend that is an extremely kind guy and treats Ellie as though she were his own daughter. So basically, Entitled Mother isn't really an entitled mother anymore. We actually get along very well, and we see them frequently, and we help each other out whenever we can. We actually look back on the early years when she was in fact an entitled mother and laugh. So not only is everybody getting along well, we can actually share the cringe stories and happily laugh about them. Wow, I didn't expect this story to end this way. Did you? Comment below.